Hello, and thank you for joining us for this presentation. In this presentation, we're going to touch on document processing using the MSI profiler. Our objective here is to simplify processing and minimize processing risk. Now, of course, the most important question right now is why should you watch this video? So we've outlined some questions here that'll help you get to that answer. Do you have documents coming in from various sources, email, scanned, fax, bulk import, that need to be reviewed quickly? If you will, a queue of documents. Does this review include assigning document properties, annotating, or redacting parts of a document? So during that review process, of course, you may have to add properties that didn't get assigned by virtue of how the document was brought into the system, but you also may have annotating that needs to get done, or do you have redacting of certain documents, blacking out certain areas so only certain parts of a document can be seen? Does some of the documents arrive as one larger document, when in reality, the 20-page document that arrived is actually 5 documents that are 3 to 6 pages? Because depending on how that document arrives, maybe via fax, okay, or the way the person who originally brought in scanned it in, it comes to you as one large PDF, and you want to manage that 20-page document as 5 smaller documents with their own properties. Does some of the information that needs to be stored on the document for searching come from other systems? So the idea here is perhaps I look up a vendor number and there's a vendor name and a vendor ID and all this other stuff in another system that by adding the vendor number, it automatically pulls this other information from the other system. Same with client information or project information. Because sometimes there's information in other systems you want to pull in and assign to that document to make searching easier. Does the review of the document happen as part of a workflow process? So it's conceivable that when that document is being reviewed, that's perhaps the first, second, or third step in the workflow process. So do you have a situation where, as part of this review, there's a whole workflow process going on? Do other systems need to be informed that a document has arrived or been approved? So in other words, I go off and approve or review this document. I need to tell maybe the CRM system or some other system, hey, we've got this document. It's good to continue doing business with that company. So key is communication with some other system about what's going on during the document review. Chances are you've answered yes to these questions, so it probably doesn't make sense for you to watch this video. So let's get started. Here we have the MSI Profiler. Now, the MSI Profiler application can be launched from a couple of different areas. It could be launched as an action from the document, so in other words, view in Profiler. It could be launched as part of a workflow process. It could be launched from share, and in some situations, it's launched from an icon on somebody's desktop, firing up the browser and launching the application. Now, the key thing is when the profiler is loaded, and here's an example document I pulled off the web. When you go off and load the profiler, certain documents will be able to be processed. That's based on your processing filter. So in other words, when you open the profiler, it'll have a default filter, but you can also turn around and say, I want to process documents from a certain origin, perhaps that came in via fax or a certain fax number or email or upload or scanner, what have you. So you can control what documents you process. Next, you've got this lookup criteria, all right? The idea here is a lot of times there's other systems that we want to grab or validate data from to be assigned to this document for searching. So in this example, this happens to be one for a court file number. So I'm going to enter the court file number, and I'll hit search, and it does a search in the database, comes back with a couple of items that match the criteria. Now watch what happens when I hit select to these two fields. It automatically pulls back this other information. So the idea is you may have a system where you need to look up and pull back other information on. So instead of entering all 3 of these, I select one or enter one, and it pulls back the correct data. All right. Next, you've got document properties. Now, in document properties, some of these fields may be automatically filled out by how the document got into the repository. So if the document perhaps was scanned in or something along those lines, that certain information may be automatically lifted from the document and therefore automatically assigned. From here, I can add additional properties if appropriate. Okay. So this is where your document properties information will be either reviewed or entered. Next, you've got documents to process. Now, this is essentially your queue. So based on the filter that you've got in terms of what you're going to process, remember up here, the documents will appear down here. All right. Now you're able to go off and even select documents to process based on your needs. And that's a configuration. Some users like to have the idea of being able to select documents to process. Others just want to see what the list is and just continue going through their queue. So at minimum, it can let you know what you have to worry about. Secondarily, it can give you the ability to select certain documents to process. Now down here you've got the concept of bursting. And what bursting is if you'll notice in this document, I've got a number of pages. See down the right hand side, I've got all these thumbnails, okay? Depending on how documents come in, this document, okay, which may be 7 pages, but basically is maybe 3 different documents. But because of the way it came in via fax or whatever, those 3 documents showed up as one big document. So how do I separate these? Well, what you can do is I could say, in reality, the real first document is pages 1 to 3. So I enter a 3 in the end. And what happens is it says, okay, so 4 to 7 is the next document. And I can say, actually, it's really only pages 4 to 5 are my next document. And then I could say, yes, page 6 and 7 are the third document. Now that I've separated the document in terms of the different pieces, so there's 7 pages, reality, 3 different documents. I can also turn around and add properties. Remember the doc properties we talked about earlier, right? Since I'm bursting a document, these may have different properties. If they do, I can click here and a property screen would pop up. And this would allow me to go off and enter properties for the individual bursted documents. That way you can process all the documents in one shot. So you can burst them all as well as assign the appropriate properties. Now, as well as being able to burst and assign document properties and so forth, you can also annotate or redact these documents. So here's a particular annotation scheme down here. We can go off and grab a particular item and we can basically redact a section if we want. And here I am redacting a couple of different pieces. I will turn around and redact this section here. Okay. I can also turn around and put text on the document if I want. So I can add text to an area. All right. And I can type in whatever I want. Okay. Now, the next thing I can do is when I'm done, I can highlight text. In other words, a lot of different pieces you can do in terms of annotating the document. Now, once the document is annotated, you've got a couple of options. You can simply save your annotations, which means the annotations are a layer on top of the document. So the PDF in this case has not been impacted. It is simply a layer on top. If I want to make sure that my redaction or my annotations are saved permanently with that PDF. In other words, when I print the PDF, those annotations arrive. I would click here, and what would happen is it would then burn those annotations into the document. So then I've got my published document, which is now a new version of the document with the annotations already assigned. So in other words, if you look at the version history of this document, you'll see 2 versions. The one that came in, and then the burned in version with all of my annotations and redactions and so forth. Okay? When you're done with your document, you can simply hit process, and what will happen is it'll take this document and based on business rules, store it in the appropriate location, be part of a workflow, kick off a workflow. Really depends on what you want to accomplish. But once you hit process, it'll burst, assign metadata, and do its piece. Okay? You can also skip the document, reject the document, and if you're done, you hit finish, and it'll just take this document, save it, and close the app. Obviously, if I hit process, it'll take this document, save it, and open up the next document. So the idea here being is I can rifle through documents. We've got clients that, they'll end up doing somewhere between 10, 20,000 in a shift between a set of users, about 35, 40 users. It really depends on how much lookups and so forth are going on. So hopefully this overview helped, gives you a good flavor for how the MSI Profiler works. We look forward to hearing from you. Take care now.